Hi everyone, my name is Yalith and tonight I'm teaching a 60-minute Vinyasa flow class. It's going to be focusing on heart opening and gentle back bending. So if you have my playlist, you can go ahead and start that now. And we're going to start in a supported Supta Baddha Konasana. If I can get my music to play, there we go. So taking blocks or something under each knee, reclining back, let your shoulders draw down your back, arms can come out to Shavasana arms, with palms pointing up to the sky. Find a pose that feels supportive in your body. And as you start to come into the space, draw your awareness to your breath. Begin to lengthen your inhales and your exhales. Notice how the breath feels in the body. If you feel it more in your belly or your chest, how you feel the expansion and contracting, the pulsing of the breath. Your inhales, feel yourself grounding into the floor. And on your exhales, feel as if you are floating into the sky. Trying to find both of those sensations at the same time. Doesn't have to make sense. If you'd like to add a mantra on your inhale, saying to yourself, I know I am breathing in. And on your exhale, saying silently to yourself, I know I am breathing out. I know I am breathing in. I know I am breathing out. Eventually, we'll start to cultivate our Ujjayi breath. This roughly translates to the victorious breath. It's a powerful breath that carries us throughout the hatha and vinyasa practice. If you'd like to join me, taking a deep inhale through your nose. And an exhale through an open mouth as if you're fogging up a mirror. Now finding that same tension in the back of your throat to make an oceanic sound on both your inhales and your exhales. Taking both parts of the breath through the nose. This audible breath allows us to coordinate movement to the breath, along with giving us something to focus on throughout the practice. Learning to find this breath and stillness allows us to better cultivate it throughout the practice, which in turn gives more power throughout this active practice. So the invitation to continue with this breath throughout the rest of your practice. Start to awaken the body, wiggling your fingers, allow your eyes to flutter open. And as you're ready, use your arms to bring both knees back up to the sky, move any props out of the way. We'll start by bringing the right knee into the chest, give it a little squeeze, massaging it back and forth in the joint. And when you're ready, we'll take 3 circles of the right ankle to one direction. And eventually 3 circles in the other direction. When you find an end to that, taking 3 big circles of the right knee to one direction. Already starting to move with your breath as you inhale the leg through center and exhale to round to the side. And then eventually reversing that movement to take 3 big circles in the other direction. Eventually find a moment of stillness with your knee in towards your chest. Give it one more squeeze. And on your exhale, release it down to the earth, foot planted on the earth, knee pointing up. On your next inhale, bringing your left knee into your chest, give it a squeeze, massage it around a little bit. Starting to awaken that joint. And as you're ready, taking 3 ankle circles in one direction. And 3 ankle circles in the other direction. And you find an end to that, taking 3 big circles of the knee to one direction. Again, allowing the breath to carry the movement. And eventually 3 big circles of the knee in the other direction. Eventually finding a moment of stillness, hug your knee into your chest. For one more breath, and on your exhale, release your knee to the floor. Take a moment to notice how your body feels. Maybe taking some movement, rocking knees from one side to the other. As you're ready, roll to your left side and gently press yourself up to seating. We're going to come into Sukhasana, or easy pose, with your legs crossed. Optionally, sitting up on the edge of a blanket or block to allow for release of your hip flexors. Allowing your thighs to waterfall down to the mat. Come to find a tall spine. Feeling your sit bones grounding into the earth as energy comes up all the way through your back and out the top of your head. On your inhale, take walking your left fingertips out to the side of your mat. Inhale, right arm overhead. Find side body stretch. Find length in both sides of your body as if you're curving over something. When you feel weight coming out of your right hip, energetically driving it back down into the mat. Breath is flowing. Maybe your gaze shifts up to open the right side of your rib cage. Or if it feels better on your neck, turning the gaze down to the ground. Find energy in your fingertips. You continue breathing here. Stay here for one more inhale. And on the exhale, find that right hand down to the left knee. Inhale to walk your left hand back behind you, taking a gentle twist. Gaze can shift over left shoulder. As you inhale to lengthen your spine, going up tall, and exhale to deepen your twist. Optionally thinking of drawing the right shoulder blade away from the spine and left shoulder blade towards the spine while rotating your navel and pelvis back towards the front of the mat. Stay for one more inhale here. And one more exhale. On your next inhale, rise left arm up overhead, maintaining the twist, finding another side body stretch. Energizing strongly through left fingertips. As we stay for the breath, taking one more inhale here, and exhale to round the back over. Now left hand comes to right knee. Round your back forward, let your head hang heavy. On your inhale, roll up to your back, keeping your arms crossed as they are with left arm over right. Coming to find eagle arms with your hands, with your palms touching, or anywhere heading towards that position that's accessible for you. Inhale to lift your hands up and drop your shoulders down your back. Exhale to press your hands away from your face. Shifting your gaze a little bit up to open your throat. Breathing into the top of your back where your shoulder blades meet. Seeing how much space you can create there. Stay for one more inhale. And exhale to release hands down. Now walking right fingertips out to the right side of your mat. Inhale, left arm up overhead for a side body stretch. Again, the feeling of curving over something so that both sides of your body remain long. When you feel weight coming out of your left sit bone, energetically driving it back down to the ground. Maybe gaze turns up or turns down. As you energize strongly through left fingertips. Stay for an inhale. And exhale to round the back, finding that left hand to your right knee. Inhale to walk right hand back behind you, turning gaze over right shoulder. Inhale to find length in the spine, going up through the crown of your head. And exhale to deepen your twist. Energetically pull left shoulder blade away from your spine and pull right shoulder blade towards your spine while rotating your navel and hips back towards the front of the space. Taking deep and flowing breaths here. Staying for one more inhale and one more exhale. On your next inhale, raising right arm up overhead. Maintain the twist to find another side body stretch here. Energizing through right fingertips. We'll stay for a breath. Take one more inhale here. Exhale to round through your back, finding right hand to left knee. Let your head hang heavy as your spine rounds over. As you inhale, roll up through your spine, keeping your arms crossed the way you are, and again, finding eagle arms. Inhale to lift elbows. Exhale to release shoulders down your back and press your hands away from your face. Notice how the breath feels in this pose. As you stay here for one more inhale. Then exhale to release your arms down by your side. Move any props out of the way and coming into tabletop pose. Find your wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Starting to take some movement here. Inhale to drop your belly, open your heart, rotate biceps forward, coming into cow pose. Exhale to press the floor away, rounding your back, finding a curve from your tailbone to the top of your head and cat. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. Moving through that at your own breath pace. Maybe taking some other movement as you're breathing. Taking whatever feels good here. Allowing the breath to carry the movement. Eventually coming to find a neutral tabletop. Take a moment to find your Hasta Bandha hand lock here, pressing your finger pads into the floor to energize up through your wrists into your shoulders. Biceps are rotating actively forward. And come to find also Uddiyana Bandha, the upward flying lock, hugging your navel up to your spine, as if you were pressing your back into the floor on your back. Noting that these two locks are really important to carry through your practice. When you're ready, tuck your toes. And on your exhale, press back into downward facing dog. Find feet to hips width distance at the back of your mat. And take any conscious movement here, maybe pedaling through your feet. Maybe you swivel one knee and then the other towards the center of your mat. Or maybe you take a deep bend in both knees, hip style up towards the sky. Eventually finding a moment of stillness in your downward facing dog. Inhale to rise up high on your toes, look to the front of your mat. And on your exhale, take tiny steps to the front of your mat into forward folds. Find opposite hand to opposite elbow in ragdoll pose. Let your head hang heavy as you gently sway from one side to the other. Inhale to halfway lift, hands coming to the floor, to your knees. Exhale to fold. Deeply bend your knees and slowly roll all the way up to standing in Tadasana mountain pose. Roll your shoulders up, back and down, your back to open your chest. Palms turn forward, energizing through fingertips. And on your inhale, arms overhead, upward salute. Gaze shifts between your palms. Exhale to deeply bend your knees. Swan dive forward, forward fold. Come to find two blocks on either side of your feet. Starting with them a little bit in front of your toes. Inhale to come up to halfway lift, hands on the blocks. Find a flat back here. Engage your Uddiyana Bandha, pulling your navel up towards the sky. Exhale to fold. Shift the blocks back a little bit and take a large right step back into a runner's lunge. Stay here for a moment, open through your chest, support through your legs as if you could hover your hands up off the blocks. Stay for an inhale. And on your exhale, release your knee and foot down to the mat. Open through your chest here, pressing into the blocks to find a subtle back bend. Gaze can shift up to the sky as you breathe here. Stay for one more inhale. And on your exhale, move blocks out of the way. Find hands to the floor. Energize through your back leg and step back to plank pose. Find a straight line from the crown of your head down to your heels. Stay for an inhale and exhale to release knees and feet down to the mat. Slowly lower all the way to your belly. Inhale, coming up to baby cobra, just feeling your heart up off the mat. Exhale to release down to the mat. Inhale through tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a moment in your downward facing dog to pedal your feet or take any other movement that feels good. And on your inhale, take a large right step forward between your hands. Coming up to fingertips, shift your gaze forward. You deeply bend your left knee, and on your exhale, step left foot forward between your hands to Uttanasana, forward fold. You can find the blocks under your hands again as you inhale to halfway lift. flattening your back. And exhale to fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, arms overhead, Urdhva upward salute. And exhale, hands to heart center. We'll take that to the other side. Inhale, arms overhead, upward salute. Exhale, deeply bend your knees, hands to the blocks. Inhale, halfway lift, extending through crown of the head. Exhale to fold, move the blocks back a couple inches and take a large left step back into a runner's lunge. Stabilize through your legs, open through your chest. Stay for an inhale. And exhale to release your knee down to the mat. Open through your chest, coming into a slight back bend here. Gaze can shift up a little bit as you're breathing. Stay for one more inhale. On your exhale, move your blocks to the sides of your mat. Find hands to the floor, energize through your back leg, and step back to plank pose. Stay here for an inhale. And on your exhale, bend both knees and just press back to downward facing dog. Inhale to rise up high on your toes, look to the front of your mat, and take a large left step forward between your hands. Gaze shifts forward, bend your back knee deeply. And on your exhale, step right foot to meet left at the front of your mat, Uttanasana forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, upward salute. And exhale to find hands to heart center. Option to continue using those blocks throughout class. That's a great option to help you open through your chest and find more stability in those poses. On your next inhale, arms overhead, upward salute. Exhale to deeply bend your knees, fold forward. Uttanasana forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold, step back, plank pose. Find a straight line from your heels to the crown of your head. Gazes forward in front of your mat. Stay for an inhale. Exhale to release knees and feet to the ground and slowly lower all the way to your belly. Reposition hands under shoulders. Inhale to baby cobra. Just peeling shoulders up off the mat. Exhale to release down. Inhale, baby cobra. Maybe hands float off the mat, shoulder blades hinge together. Exhale to release down, taking one more like that. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale to release down. Inhale through tabletop. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale to rise up high on your toes. Look to the front of your mat and carefully step between your hands. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, upward salute. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're moving through variations of sun salutation A. Option to stay with any variation that I cue, or to continue with me for more variations. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold, step back, plank pose. Chest is forward, gaze is forward. Stay for an inhale. Exhale, release knees and feet to the ground and slowly lower all the way to your belly. Hands in position under shoulders. Inhale, coming up to cobra. Peeling your entire front body off the mat. Traction elbows back to your hip bones. Stay for an inhale. Exhale to release down to the mat. Inhale through tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale to rise up high on your toes. Look to the front of your mat. And on the bottom of your exhale, take a big step forward to the front of your mat. Uttanasana forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, let everything go, fold. Inhale, arms up, Urdhva upward salute. Exhale, hands to heart center. We'll take 2 more rounds like this. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands fold, step back to plank pose. Option to continue with knees down cobra, or to find chaturanga, shifting weight far over your wrists. Slowly bend your elbows until you flip over your feet, coming into upward facing dog. Thighs do not touch floor. Neck stays long. Stay for an inhale. And exhale to press back directly to downward facing dog. Inhale to rise up high on your toes. Look to the front of your mat. Deeply bend your knees and maybe step or float to the front of your mat between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale to fold. Inhale, arms overhead, upward salutes. Exhale, hands to heart center. Stay here for one breath as we take one more round of Sunny. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, deep knee bend, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Option to take either knees down cobra, chaturanga to up dog, or if you'd like to join me, float back to chaturanga with bent elbows. Do not jump to plank with straight arms. On an inhale. Pressing up to upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take a moment in your downward dog, paddle out your feet. Take any conscious movement. Inhale, rise up high on your toes, look to the front of your mat and step or float between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, arms up overhead, Urdhva Hastasana, upward salute. Exhale, hands to heart center. Breathe here for a moment, energy balancing between left and right side body. And as you continue, inhale, arms overhead. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold, take a large right step back into a runner's lunge. Option to find blocks under your hands, or just stay here, chest is open, legs are strong. Stay for an inhale. Exhale to release knee and foot down to the mat. Inhale, arms overhead, Anjaneyasana, knee down crescent. Stay for an inhale. Exhale to goal, post your arms. Inhale, fingertips brush the mat, coming back overhead. We'll take that 3 more times. Exhale, goal, post your arms. Inhale, fingertips brush the mat, coming overhead. Exhale to goal post. Inhale to come up. One more exhale, goal, posting your arms, opening your chest. And inhale, arms up. Exhale, both hands find the mat. Energize through your back leg and step back to plank pose. Take your variation of chaturanga to up dog or knees down cobra. We meet in downward facing dog. When you find downward facing dog, inhale to rise up high on your toes. Look to the front of your mat and step or float between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, arms overhead, Urdhva Hastasana, upward salute. Exhale, hands to heart center. We take that to the other side. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale to swan dive forward. Deeply bend your knees, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Take a large left step back, runner's lunge. Find stability in your legs, open to your chest. Stay for an inhale. Exhale to release knee and foot down to the mat. Inhale, arms overhead onto Vinyasa. Breath is flowing here. Inhale to find more length. Exhale, goal, post your arms, opening through your chest. Inhale, fingertips brush the mat, arms come up overhead. Exhale to goal, post arms, taking that 3 more times. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale to goal post. Inhale, finding length through your fingertips. Exhale, goal, post your arms, taking this 1 more time. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, goal, post your arms. Inhale, arms overhead. Stand for 1 more inhale. Exhale, both hands to the mat. Energize through your back foot. Step back, plank pose. Stay for the breath. Take your variation of chaturanga to up dog or knees down cobra. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Wherever you are, finding space in your back bends, making them very intentional. When you find yourself in downward facing dog, inhale to rise up high on your toes, look to the front of your mat, And on the bottom of your exhale, step or float between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, arms overhead. And exhale, hands to heart center. Starting to build on that. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Take a large right step back, runner's lunge. Find strength in your legs, maybe coming up onto blocks. Inhale, arms overhead, crescent lunge. Find a slight back bend. Stay for the inhale. Exhale to goal post your arms. Inhale, arms come forward and up. Taking the same movement we did before. Exhale, goal post your arms. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, goal post. Inhale, arms up overhead. Taking 2 more. Inhale, coming up. 1 more coming up. Extend long through your fingers. Stay for an inhale. Exhale to find hands to the mat. Step back, plank pose. Take your vinyasa. We meet in downward facing dog. Take a few breaths in downward facing dog. Pressing weight evenly into hands and feet. Inhale to rise up high onto your toes. Look to the front of your mat. And on the bottom of your exhale, step or float between your hands. Find your forward fold. Let your head and neck release. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, arms overhead, upward salute. Exhale, hands to heart center. We'll take that to the other side. 1 more here. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, deeply bend your knees, swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Take a large left step back to a runner's lunge. Stabilize through your legs. Open your chest, gazes forward. Inhale, arms overhead, asana, crescent lunge. Stay for an inhale. Exhale, goal post your arms. Inhale, arms come front and up overhead. Taking that 3 more times. Exhale, goal post your arms. Open your chest. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale. Arms sweep up, energizing through fingertips. 1 more. Inhale, arms overhead. Take 1 more inhale for extra length. Exhale, hands find the mat, step back, plank pose. Take your variation. We meet in downward facing dog. When you find downward facing dog, come to take a few breaths either in downward facing dog or child's pose. And if you aren't there already, eventually we'll all meet back into downward facing dog. Adjust your alignment, set yourself up for success here. Taking a few more neutralizing breaths to find even weight between hands and feet. When you're ready, step feet together at the back of your mat, big toes touch. Inhale to lift right leg up overhead, hip stack on top of hip. Find a puff of air under left shoulder. To support your shoulders, keeping weight evenly between both hands. Stay for an inhale. Exhale to take a large right step forward between your hands. Spiral back heel down so that right heel is in line with the middle of back foot. Inhale to rise. Exhale to settle, warrior 2. We're going to take a variation of going across the arms here. Finding your right arm bent overhead and your left arm bent behind your back, reaching for your fingertips. If this isn't accessible to you, maybe holding on to clothes or to a strap. But if it comes to maybe fingers link here, stay here for an inhale and an exhale, finding a 90-degree bend in the front knee. Inhale to reverse your warrior with your arms in Gomukhasana arms, finding extra length in right side body. Stay here for an inhale. Exhale, release the arms, coming to side angle. Option to find right elbow to knee, hand facing up, or to release right hand to the floor. Wherever you are, spiral your left rib cage open and extend through your left arm. Breathe here. Inhale to extend up through your front fingertip. Exhale to draw a big circle on the sky, coming all the way over to the front of your mat. Heel toe, right foot out to the side of your mat, coming into lizard lunge. Finding hands under shoulders, option to stay here or option to release knee down to the floor. My invitation to you is to stay on your hands and see if you can pull your chest forward here. Finding even a little bit heart opening here. Breath is flowing. On your inhale, tuck your back toes, energize through your back leg, and take a large right step back to downward facing dog. Take a breath here, and when you're ready, step feet together at the back of the mat, big toes touch. Inhale to lift left leg, hip stack on top of hip. Find a puff of air under right shoulder to support your shoulders, maintaining equal weight between both hands. Stay for an inhale. Exhale to take a large left step forward between your hands. Spiral back heel down to the mat. Inhale to rise, exhale to settle, warrior two. Again, finding a variation of Gomukhasana arms. It's quite possible for one side to be very different than the other. Find whatever variation works for you. Stay for an inhale and an exhale. Inhale to find extra length in left side body and take a slight reverse of your warrior. See if you can drop your tailbone down to the mat to support your core. Stay here for an inhale. Exhale, coming to side angle, maybe left elbow to left knee, or releasing left hand to the floor to a block. Opening through your right rib cage. Breathe. Can you feel stability still in both legs? Stay for an inhale. Finding extra length. Exhale to draw a circle on the sky, coming all the way down to the mat with your arm. Heel toe, left toe out to the side of your mat, coming to find weight evenly on both hands under shoulders. Option to stay here or release knee and foot to the floor. Wherever you are, draw your chest forward, opening your heart. Stay here for just a few more breaths. On your next inhale, tuck your toes and energize through your back knee. And exhale to step back into downward facing dog. Take a moment to breathe into your downward facing dog. As we get towards the end of class, even in more challenging movements, can you find a sense of ease and comfort? Inhale to rise up high onto your toes, lift to the front of your mat, and on the bottom of your exhale, step or float between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, arms overhead, upward salute. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take a moment here to reset as if you're just starting to go on your mat. When you're ready, step your feet together at the front of your mat, big toes touch. Squeeze your legs together, allowing them to be supportive to you. On your next inhale, hands sweep down, knees bend deeply, hips sink back, coming into chair pose. Engage your core so that your back stays straight. Stay here for an inhale. And on your exhale, swing your arms back behind you into airplane arms. Chest pushes forward as if you're thinking cobra pose with your upper body. Breathe here. Option to stay here, or on your next inhale, tap your right foot back behind you. Stay here for an exhale. And on your inhale, straighten left knee and float right leg up off the ground, coming into airplane pose. Heart is forward, chest is open. Hands are extending energetically back. Stay for an inhale and an exhale. One more inhale here. Exhale, release your foot to the ground, bend your knees. Inhale, arms overhead, finding a slight back bend as you upward salute. And exhale to find hands to heart center. We'll take that to the other side. As you reset, come to step feet together, big toes touch. Find your legs together as one, being stable onto the floor. As you're ready, inhale to sink your hips back. Hands come down before coming up overhead into chair pose. Engage that Uddiyana Bandha, hugging navel to spine. As you stay here for one more breath. Taking an inhale and an exhale. Inhale to lengthen through your fingertips. Exhale, hands swing back, coming into airplane arms. Open through your chest, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Sink hips down a little bit further. Option to stay here, or on your next inhale, tap left foot back behind you. Stay for an exhale. And maybe on your next inhale, you float left leg up off the ground, straightening right leg, coming into airplane pose. It's common for one side to be a lot easier than the other. Keeping left toes dialing down towards the mat. Energizing through hands, opening through your chest. Stay for one more inhale. Exhale to release your foot down to the mat. Find your hands up overhead, upward salute. Maybe finding Anjali Mudra with your hands. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take a moment here. Feel energy balancing as we start to slow down. Inhale, arms overhead. Luxuriating through this one more silent salutation. Exhale to fold. Step back into plank pose. And as you're ready, release knees and feet to the floor. And slowly lower all the way down to your belly. Coming into crocodile pose, stack palms on top of each other. And let your forehead release down to your hands. Just taking a moment here to take in what the body has done so far. When you're ready, we're going to take variations of locust or bow pose. Starting with locust, this is an option pose to go to. Inhale to come up to baby cobra. Maybe you stay here, maybe hands float off the ground. Maybe you stay here, maybe feet float off the ground. Maybe you stay here, maybe you go out into Superman arms, hands out in front of you for the hardest variation. Or maybe arms extend back behind your sides for more chest opening. Taking any of these variations, find strength here. Wherever you are, energize through fingertips. Squeeze your shoulder blades together as you stay for an inhale and an exhale. One more inhale, can you lift up a little bit higher? Exhale to release down to the floor. Let your forehead come to the mat. Shoulders fall forward. Option to continue with locust, or if bow is in your practice, bend both knees. And find hands to your feet or ankles, finding the inside of your feet. Thumbs point up to the ceiling. Wherever you are, coming up on an inhale. If you're going into bow pose, press your feet into your hands to lift up. Gaze is forward. Neck is still long, not crunching back. Press strongly into your arms with your feet. Stay for one more inhale. And one more exhale. Inhale, can you come up a little bit higher? And exhale to release down to the mat. Let your legs fall long, shoulders round over. Forehead releases to the mat. Taking one more of any variation that we've done so far. On your next inhale, coming into prepare for your final back bend. And on your exhale, releasing down to the floor. Inhale to kick hands, feet into hands, or to come up into locust pose, any variation. If you're in bow, can you think of hugging your knees together? Stay for an inhale and an exhale. Inhale to come up a little bit higher, and exhale to release down to the mat. Find crocodile pose with the opposite hand on top of the other, and release your forehead on top of your hands. Breathe. As you're ready, bend both knees and gently windshield wiper your feet back and forth, releasing the work that we've done. Taking any more movement that you'd like. As we come to find, you can just roll over. I'm going to switch so you can see me. Come to find, laying on your back. We'll take reconstructive breaths. Kick your feet out wide to the edges of your mat and allow your knees to fall in towards the center. Finding a neutral spine here. And just breathe. Take a deep inhale through your nose. And then exhale through an open mouth. When you're ready, heels hug your feet together so that knees point up. Coming to find a little bit of stability in your legs here. Keeping your breath deep and calm as you settle in for the final portion of class. On your inhale, pull your right knee into your chest, give it a squeeze. And inhale, extending right leg up towards the ceiling for a hamstring stretch. Hands can come anywhere to the back of your leg. Press your leg into your hands. Taking an active variation of the stretch. Inhale to pull your elbows wide, bringing head towards your chest, curling up your shoulder blades off the mat. Stay for an inhale. Exhale to release back down to the mat. We'll take that 2 more times. Inhale to roll up, knee towards nose. Stay for an inhale. Exhale to release back to the mat. Taking 1 more like that. Elbows go wide. Inhale, nose to knee. Stay here. As you breathe, shoulders strong away from ears. Stay for an inhale. And exhale to release down to the mat. Hug your knee and your leg a little bit closer into your chest if you'd like. And exhale to release your foot down to the mat. We'll take that to the other side. On your inhale, pull your left knee into your chest. Give it a squeeze. As you pause here for the exhale. On your next inhale, extend left leg up high towards the sky, finding hands anywhere behind the leg that is accessible to you. Press your leg into your hands to find some resistance in the stretch. Breathe. Taking the same thing that we did on the other side. Inhale, elbows go wide, bringing nose to knee, curling your shoulder blades up off the mat. Stay here for an inhale. And exhale to release down to the mat. Taking that 2 more times. Inhale, elbows wide, lifting shoulder blades up off the mat. Exhale to release. 1 more, shoulder blades go wide, shoulders draw away from ears, coming up. Lifting your shoulder blades up off the mat. Stay for an inhale. And exhale to release down to the mat. Take 1 more moment to hug your leg in towards your chest. And an exhale, release both feet down to the mat. And take a moment here to take in the effects of the practice in the body. When you're ready, coming into a tabletop position on your back so that knees and hips are at a 90-degree angle. Back is flat on the mat. As you're ready, finding your hands to your knees, come to press knees into palms to integrate the core. We'll be here for a few breaths. This generates quite a bit of heat. Take 1 more inhale here. Exhale to hug your knees into your chest. We'll take that 1 more time. Give your knees a hug into your chest as we set up to take it 1 more time. As you're ready, bringing knees back up to 90-degree angles, finding hands to your knees. Press energetically hands and knees into each other. Keep your breath flowing. Take 1 more inhale. Exhale to hug knees into your chest. Give them a squeeze. Take a moment to rock back and forth and up and down your back. As you're ready, take your arms out wide to a T. Shift your hips a couple inches to the right side of your mat. And as you exhale, allow your legs to release over to the left side of your mat for a reclined twist. Once your legs have finished moving, maybe your gaze shifts over your right hand. Feel the spiraling in your back and notice how your breath feels in this pose. Right shoulder is heavy to the floor. On your next inhale, gaze shifts up to the sky. Pull your knees even closer to your chest as you slowly roll onto your back. Take a moment to reset, shifting your hips a couple inches to the left side of your mat now, as you gently allow your knees to release to the right side of your mat. Maybe once your legs have stopped moving, your gaze shifts over your left palm. Left shoulder is heavy to the mat. As your entire body relaxes and sinks into the floor. On your next inhale, turn your gaze up to the sky. Draw your knees even closer to your chest as you slowly roll back onto your back. Bring your hips, realign them to neutral. And take a moment for any more movement in a cool down fashion, maybe taking happy baby or anything else that would feel good to finish out this practice. If you're in happy baby, maybe rock a little bit left and a little bit right. And when you're ready, release your grip on your feet. Hug your knees into your chest. And as you're ready, let your legs extend long, coming into Shavasana. Let your feet release open, shoulder blades walk down your back. Palms can face up as your arms release by your sides. Feel the back of your head in the floor. Take a moment to come back to the breath. And eventually, with an exhale, allow your eyes to close and release all control over the breath, allowing it to return to its natural rhythm. Come to fully relax into the mat, as if your entire body is melting away into the floor. Release the crown of your head, your face, the muscles behind your eyes, your jaw, your shoulders, your neck, your upper back, your arms, the rest of your back, hips, legs, everything relaxed and melting into the floor. Take a moment to come back to observing all parts of the body, physical, mental, emotional, and energetic, without judgment, just noting how you feel at the end of this practice. And eventually come to release all of your focus altogether and just take in the moment. In our deepest moments of struggle, frustration, fear, and confusion, we are being called upon to reach in and touch our heart. Then we will know what to do, what to say, how to be. What is right is always in our deepest heart of hearts. It is from the deepest part of our hearts that we are capable of reaching out and touching another human being. It is, after all, one heart touching another heart. When you're ready, start to deepen your breath. Invite subtle movement back into the body, wiggling fingers and toes, circling ankles and wrists. Maybe roll your head back and forth across the mat. Or if it's calling to you, take a big morning stretch. Eventually come to roll onto your right side, using your right arm as a pillow. As you're on your side, come to find a moment of gratitude to yourself for showing up on your mat today, to your body for carrying you through this practice, and for this practice and everything that it has to get us on and off the mat. When you're ready, press into your left hand, coming up to a comfortable seat. Hands can come to your knees, or if you'd like to join me, bringing hands to heart center in Anjali Mudra prayer pose. I honor the place in you in which the entire universe dwells. I honor the place in you which is of love, of truth, of light, and of peace. When you are in that place in you, and I am in that place in me, we are one. If you'd like to join me, bringing thumb knuckles up to third eye center, we'll seal this practice with the blessing of Namaste. Namaste. Thank you for your practice.